Mudpuppies! Welcome back to another episode of the Cryptid Files.
Yes.
The podcast that talks about all manners of cryptids, mythology, urban legends,
Files.
folklore, food, Scientology, Mormons, aliens, and ghosts.
Files. We talk about files.
We're your hosts, Anthony and Charlie.
Yeah.
And we're back to talk to you about another cryptid. Tonight we are covering the Van Meter Visitor. So, the Van Meter Visitor.
Yes.
Comes to us from Van Meter, Iowa, and was first sighted in October of 1903. And he's described as large with bat-like wings, body resembling a pterodactyl, with a horrible stench, and it shoots beams of light from its forehead.
Yeah.
And it's also reported to be bulletproof.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Charlie has all the real information.
Oh, you want the real information
Yeah,
now?
fucking.
That's all. All right.
That's
cool.
all I got.
All right, perfect.
I'm gonna let you spank us in the face with all of your 17 pages of notes.
It's roughly man-sized or larger. The exact height varied in reports. Some called it a giant ball or half-human, half-bird creature. It has a bird-like head with a horn projecting from it.
Right.
Kind of. It has a beak.
Right.
It's got like a three-toed track that it's left behind, and it's a large bat-like or pterodactyl-like wings, leathery and membranous in some accounts.
Membranous.
Yes. Eyes are often described as glowing or reflecting light.
As membranous.
Yeah, it's capable of both walking and flying, reportedly perched on rooftops and church steeples, and has been seen climbing light poles.
Interesting.
Yes. So, this is another one where I got really cool newspaper articles from 1903. So, there's going to be 5 people I mentioned in these articles.
Okay. Are we going to recognize any of these names, or are they just relevant to stories?
They're just relevant to the story, really.
Okay.
So, it's going to be Ulysses Griffith. He was a traveling salesman.
Okay.
He was the first to report it atop a building in the early morning hours. Dr. A.C. Alcott. His name has been debated, though, because all of the newspapers that released the article spelt it a little bit differently.
Okay.
So they think there might have been a typo in the initial article. If they're not sure, it's from 1903.
Fair enough.
He claimed it flew directly over his head, shining its blinding light. Clarence Dunn, the banker, he's the one that found the footprint, saw it, and shot at it, and took a cast of the footprint.
Okay. He shot at the footprint or at the Van Meter Visitor?
The visitor. He didn't shoot at the footprint.
Let's just call it as the visitor from now on, because the VMV is a lot of things.
Yeah. We got O.V. White. He was a hardware store owner. He shot it multiple times with no visible effect. Sidney Gregg, and he observed it hopping like a kangaroo at one point.
Makes it kind of the bird thing.
Yeah, like a bird thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, the bats hop too?
I
know they like crawl up like when they're on walls and things.
I couldn't imagine them walking.
Yeah, how do they move around on the ground?
They got like those bird legs. They're probably jumping like other fucking things. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But the best way to tell a story, I think, is with the eyewitness accounts first.
Yes.
So
do we have one of them here?
Yeah, it's me. So what I have here, yes. So this is the article that was released in 1903. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it and go over it.
Right.
So Des Moines, Iowa, October 10th. The town of Van Meter, containing 1,000 persons, is terribly wrought up by what is described as a horrible monster. Every man, woman, and child in town is in a state of terror, and fully half of them failed to close their eyes in slumber except in broad daylight. The monster put its appearance Monday night. U.G. Griffith, the first guy I talked about, he's a traveling salesman, an implement dealer, drove into town at 1 a.m. and saw what seemed to be an electric searchlight on Mayer and Griggs' store. While he gazed, it sailed across to another building and then disappeared, which is kind of cool because this was, once again, 1903. So they didn't have a lot of fucking moving lights and shit back then. There was nothing that they could have comprehended at the time to kind of give this some type of explanation. So this really made people's minds kind of wander. His story was not believed the next day. But the following night, Dr. A.C. Aucklet, who sleeps in his office on Principal Street, was awakened by a bright light shining in his face. He grabbed a shotgun and ran outside the building, where he saw a monster, seemingly half human and half beast, with great bat-like wings. A dazzling light that fairly blinded him came from a blunt, horn-like protuberance in the middle of the animal's forehead, and it gave off a stupefying odor that almost overcame him. The doctor discharged his weapon and fled in the office, barring the doors and windows, and remained there in abject terror until morning. So that's the first part of the article. And here is the second part.
Oh, it's like you turned the page. That was cool.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose. So this is the article continued. Peter Dunn, cashier of the only bank in town, fearing bank robbers, loaded a repeating shotgun with shells filled with buckshot and prepared to guard his funds the next night. Because basically he heard about all this shit going on.
Right. So
it
he
was
thought this alien monster
He thought it was bank
cryptid
robbers.
was going to rob his bank.
Yes. Well, he didn't think it was an alien monster cryptid.
Okay.
He thought it was bank robbers.
Okay.
Shining lights. So the next night at 2 o'clock in the morning, he was blinded by the presence of a light of great intensity.
By the light.
Eventually, he recovered his senses sufficiently to distinguish the monster and fired through the window. The plate glass and sash were torn out, and the monster disappeared. Next morning, imprints of great three-toed feet were discernible in the soft earth. A plaster cast of them were taken. So they actually took a plaster cast.
So they had plaster cast of these
Yes.
feet. Now,
Okay.
are these considered evidence, or are they thrown
At
out
the
like every other
time-
plaster cast?
At the time, they were considered hard evidence for this
Okay.
thing. Okay? That night, Dr. O.W. White saw the monster climbing down a telephone pole, using his beak in the manner of a parrot. So you ever seen like a parrot?
Yeah,
like,
they use their beak almost like another.
like another leg to
interesting.
climb. As it struck the ground, it seemed to travel in leaps like a kangaroo, using its huge featherless wings to assist. It gave off no light. He fired at it, and he believes he wounded it. The shot was followed by an overpowering odor. Sidney Gregg, attracted to the shot, saw the monster flying away.
me
Somebody
think
else
of,
in
like-
town heard the shot, went to go see what was happening, and then saw the monster flying away that same night.
Yeah. Was it phosphorus? Is the one that like when you light it, it goes poof. Right. It's isn't it phosphate powder and what's the shit they used to put when they take photos? And it was the powder that went
yeah.
poof.
I think, yeah. I think
It's
it was-
phosphorus. It's
yeah.
phosphorus, right? And it makes,
Yeah.
Doesn't that shit stink too when it lights up? So it
Maybe.
makes me wonder that maybe his light beam, he's doing something with phosphorus in the.
I don't know.
Because if the smell comes with the beam, and this is all just speculation because this thing might not even be real, but
Yeah.
makes me think two might be connected. Maybe some kind of phosphorus power.
Could have been. So continuing on. But the climax came last night. The whole town was aroused by this time. Professor Martin, principal of the schools, decided that upon the description, it was an antediluvian animal.
A what?
So that term means something before the biblical floods. So basically that is him saying it's a dinosaur.
All right.
So just to clarify that, because I read that and I was like, what the fuck is antediluvian?
Yeah. Okay.
Shortly after midnight, J.L. Foreman of the brick plant heard a peculiar sound in an abandoned coal mine. And as the men had reported a similar sound before, a body of volunteers started an investigation. Presently, the monster emerged from the shaft, accompanied by a smaller one. A score of shots were fired without effect. The whole town was aroused and vigil was maintained the rest of the night, but without result until just at dawn when the two monsters returned and disappeared down the shaft. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit.
Yeah. There's some speculation whether the second one was its mate or its child.
Yeah, so basically this town, right, it was a coal mining town.
Right.
And in 1903, the miners were fighting for higher wages,
Right.
and the mine basically said, fuck now, and shut down the mine.
Right.
So the entire mine was closed.
Right.
And that's why they think that the thing was able to like go in there and hide and live.
Because nobody was in there anymore.
Yeah. Now the town also had right next to it the factory, which they used clay
Okay.
from the mine to make like tiles and bricks and shit.
Makes sense.
And that was open until 1911.
Okay.
Just because I guess they had that
They had
much
enough
supply.
clay.
They had enough clay to do that shit. So they kept doing that for a long time. So the whole area was kind of abandoned, which is why they think this thing went unnoticed for a good amount of time.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over a couple quick theories on what it could be.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go over another kind of longer theory into it.
Okay.
Well, it's more of like another sighting too. So the first thing that everybody thinks it's some type of misidentified animal.
It's with everything. It's a bear. It's a fucking a raccoon with mange. It's just probably some kind of hawk that they think it might have been,
Yeah.
or a giant bat.
So they think it could be like a great horned owl or heron.
Why do they always think it's a fucking owl?
I don't know. It's everything. They think
Makes me
Mothman's an
actually
owl.
kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
Everything's either a bear or if it flies, it's an owl.
Problem is, none of these birds emit bright lights or have three-toed footprints.
Not a single bird emits a bright light.
Yeah. Yeah. They think it could also be some type of bat or migratory species, which, once again,
Don't emit bright
don't
lights.
emit bright lights.
I don't know any animal that just does.
Now, the other theory that I thought was kind of interesting was they thought it was some type of prehistoric survivor. like a pterodactyl or a pterosaur relic. Leathery wings, beak, talons fit the reconstructions, leading to speculation of a living fossil. Problem is, they don't have any fossil evidence of any surviving pterodactyl in the Midwest.
Right. And also,
which is kind of hard to say. And the glowing forehead light is unexplained.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know. Maybe pterodactyls have glowing foreheads. We don't know.
It's a different time back then.
Yeah. Now, there's also the cryptid version of this where they think it could be more of like a paranormal entity or some type of unique winged humanoid. Because you saw in the one description, the guy said it seemed like it was some type of like human bird mix.
Right.
But that's, once again, just a random speculation.
Right.
But people bring it up. The other one, alien visitor, paranormal extraterrestrial.
Okay. This seems the most plausible in my view.
Yeah, light projection, apparent invulnerability to bullets, and a smaller companion. Seeing the mind could suggest extraterrestrial origins. Interdimensional being theories include creature slipping into our world temporarily, explaining why it only appeared for a few nights and then vanished.
Okay.
Which is also a very huge bullshit. I'm throwing it out there. Interdimensional being theory.
Okay.
But whatever. And then hoax mass hysteria we always have to cover. Because you never know. Now, the reason mass hysteria, though, kind of fits this pretty well is because this was in 1903 in an area that was settled by European settlers.
Right.
And in that culture, during this time period, they were really into spiritual and monster explanations for things.
Okay.
And so when people would say, like, oh, there's a snake monster outside,
everybody would just believe it. Right.
They think that was, 100%. And they're also in a completely new area to them.
Right.
It's a very unexplained area. They've heard stories and legends about crazy creatures out here.
Right.
So it carried a lot more weight. Like for us, when we hear a story, like somebody saw the dinosaur in the backyard.
Right.
That's immediately my first thought is, okay,
where the fuck did it come from?
Where the fuck did it come from? Yeah. How is a dinosaur existing?
And is my fence okay?
Now, with somebody that has absolutely no knowledge of what could live on this continent, nobody has knowledge of what could live in this area of the world.
I mean, at this point, it's 1903. We've been on this continent for almost 200 years.
Yeah, but it's a remote area. It was very remote.
It's true, it's Iowa.
Yeah, and it was a brand new settled area. I think the area was first kind of settled in mid 1800s.
Okay, so they had been there for like a generation about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still fairly new enough to be like, well, shit, we just moved here. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, they did release an article afterwards. Well, it was competitor newspaper article. Okay. And it wasn't done by by a journalist, by the paper. It was just kind of somebody submitted something and they put it in the paper.
Okay.
Saying that it's all bullshit. Right?
Was it one of the people that saw it?
No. It was...
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was also a competitor newspaper.
Right. Trying to make some money.
Now, there was another sighting on Stansbury Island.
The Van Meter visitor visited another village.
Yes.
I said that so well that time.
You did. You said that super good. The article's titled, Monster That Swims and Flies is Sighted on Stansbury Island Shores. Mm-hmm. Now, we haven't heard of this thing swimming before.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, you're going to read the story, and I'm going to point out some very interesting similarities I found between this monster and the other monster. I actually had it here. You guys definitely can't fucking read that. But it looks cool. Also from 1903, and it's from a couple months later.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into it. It starts off, it has this top section, what the monster is said to look like.
Okay.
Head, like an alligator's, nearly 15 feet in length. Mouth, armed with immense serrated teeth, opening wide enough to admit a horse. Body, presumably scaly, but so encrusted with salt that it cannot be seen. Eyes very large, round, and burning with a bright red light. Wings, bat-like, spreading probably 100 feet from tip to tip. Okay.
Similar enough so far.
A terrible, nameless, unclassified creature of the animal world is exciting the curiosity, wonder, and fear of the occasional visitors to Stansbury Island. In the southern portion of the Great Salt Lake, this monster, for it can be called nothing else, so strange and unnatural in its appearance, has lately, is said, been seen by several persons. But the best account of its characteristics and movements is given by Martin Gilbert and John Barry, two hunters who this week returned from an expedition over the island in the course of a day which they study the habits of this hitherto unheard of creature for 3 days. The story of these two hunters, which reads like a fairy tale story, is given for what it is worth. This is a long article too, so
okay.
I'm gonna bear with
Do
me.
some paraphrasing.
Yes. So, at home in air and sea, the monster, which appears to be almost equally at home in air, on the beach, or submerged in the tiny waters of Salt Lake, or the briny waters of Salt Lake, is probably the sole survivor of a prehistoric species.
Okay.
It is doubtless the last representative of a family whose other members, dead ages since, have left the testimony of their existence in the primeval rocks of the mountains.
Okay.
Arranging to condense for the description of this incredible relic of the antediluvian age, once again that word brought up again.
Pre-flood.
Yeah. The various accounts given to the hunters in plain, unvarnished language consists of this almost incredible description. All right. So this is where they describe the beast.
Okay.
In size, it is simply tremendous. Gilbert and Barry were not given to exaggeration. Estimated it is about 65 feet from snout to the tip of the tail. The head alone is nearly 15 feet in length, shaped much like that of an alligator. The eyes are large, round, with fiery red. From top of the upper jaw to the base of the skull, the jaws are provided with immense serrated teeth. The body, presumably scaly, is encrusted with a coating of salt, so thick and hard as to be armor-like, completely encasing the body. The wings are described as bat-like in form and spreading probably 100 feet from tip to tip.
How the fuck did they know it was salt?
Well, it came out of a giant salt lake.
How did they know it was salt and not just scaly plates or anything? Like, is somebody licking this thing?
I think it just looked like it was covered in salt. I don't know, dude. It's covered in salt.
Okay, I'm just poking. Listen, that's a hole that I'm poking.
Yeah. So
that's like, how did they know that the sheep squatch pees sulfur? Like,
that's another thing.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean,
it's a detail that you're like, how do you know that?
I feel like if anything, that kind of helps with them saying it's scaly, because it's kind of hard to see what's underneath a bunch of like salt just kind of stuck to this thing.
But they're describing it as salt crusted on.
Maybe
how do you know it's not just ashy?
Well, maybe they've seen things get encrusted with salt coming out of the lake before, and that's kind of like a normal thing to see.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's just a weird detail.
Yeah, it is.
All right, continue.
But, all right, hunters tell the story. Gilbert says on the first night of their encampment, they were startled from their slumber by a noise which they first described to a landslide. But upon looking toward the mouth of the cave near their camp, saw a gleam of light that was so dazzling it fairly blinded them. It came from the head of the huge, hideous shape, which slowly crawled from the cave and paused at its mouth, giving them the first view of the monster. Both men were so astonished, for a few moments they could neither move nor speak. Its huge bulk was outlined against the starlit sky, and the glitter from the armor of salt made it appear like a monster of polished silver. So basically they're seeing an outline of it, so it's looking like it's salt, I guess, kind of encrusting it.
Sure.
Yeah. According to Barry, the eyes were colored with strange and uncanny, making the whole appearance more hideous. Barry says that the hackneyed phrase made his blood run cold. Is none too strong for the sight of the monster at the moment. Slowly it's opened its great mouth, dispensing immense serrated teeth, and then with a leap soared into the air. Its huge wings moved ponderously with each stroke. It sounded like a rush of great wind smote their ears. The monster made a short run before taking flight when it rose to air and seemed to travel in leaps, like a kangaroo, using its huge wings to assist.
Okay. So it wasn't flying, it was jumping.
It made a short run before taking flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, a bullet had no effect. They saw it disappear towards the lake. An hour later, heard a splashing noise as if some body was moving the water. Barry fired a shot which struck the monster fairly, but it had no effect except to knock off a piece of encrusted salt, which dropped at their feet.
Ew.
Yeah. The next morning, they examined a place where it had crawled from the cave and found imprints of great three-toed feet, each toe nearly 4 feet long, resembling a print of a gigantic hand. And they also saw it attack a horse. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's literally just saying they saw it pick up a horse and bring it into the cave. The following day, they explored the spot where the monster had fed. Found large patches of blood-soaked sand and fragments of bone. They followed the trail back towards the cave, but it disappeared among the rocks. On the third night, they heard strange cries from the cave and saw the monster emerge again, accompanied this time by a smaller one of the same appearance. Both took flight together and disappeared in the direction of the lake. So, Literally, same story.
Yeah.
The only thing here that I found a little rough to like believe is they used a lot of verbatim language from the original story.
They used that weird pre-biblical term.
Which was a common term then, right?
It was.
But I just find it
interesting that it's the same. Both of them in the cave together. Only one's been in and out until they see the second one because they go find it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but maybe it could just be another sighting of where this creature moved to.
Yeah, because it is months later. It could have left that coal mine and lived in this cave.
And also the description is a little bit different than the first one that we heard.
Okay.
So we didn't hear about teeth on the first description.
Right, we didn't hear about teeth.
There
was no salt.
Yeah, we didn't hear about salt. But they could have seen stuff that they didn't see the first time.
Right.
Which I find kind of interesting. So some questions that I kind of had about this. Where's the footprint now? If we have a cast
where are these cast of footprints?
Turns out there is something called the Fire of 1911.
Of course there was.
Yeah, that burned down all of the downtown area.
Okay.
Which, when they found things at this time, people would, instead of like going to a museum or anything like that, people
put it in the town hall or something?
They put it in their shop. And people would come and like attract tourists and shit like that. So they're pretty sure that the cast that would already be over 100 years old at this point burnt in the fire. So
wait, how would it be 100 years old?
1903.
And then when was the fire?
This point, AJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the point of the fire.
Yeah,
I was like, 1903 to 1911 is only 8 years.
No. Yeah, because the odds of a plaster cast managing
to survive 100 years are pretty slim.
It's pretty slim.
Okay.
But also, they're pretty sure that it burned down the fire.
Okay.
Now, has anyone seen it again?
We was chilling.
Yeah, kind of. There's been a sighting in 2020.
Oh, shit.
Where they said they saw... Everybody's relating it to this.
Right.
Pretty sure it's a Thunderbird sighting.
Okay. But who's to say this isn't a Thunderbird? Because Thunderbird is a term, not a cryptid.
I know, but if we're talking about this exact thing, it was not this.
Okay.
Didn't have bat wings, and it had feathers.
It could have been a Piazza bird.
Could have been. Yes.
Which we haven't covered yet, but we are.
We will. That's also another thing that's kind of famous for this area, too.
Exactly.
So, could have been. Could have been. I don't think it was this, though.
Probably
what
not.
They saw.
If it's got feathers, we're already changing it up too much.
Yeah.
Unless this thing was like pupa stage and now it's full grown stage and it grew feathers or some shit. But I doubt you're not going to go feathers out of bat skin.
Now, the other thing I found interesting, I was wondering if the mines were still accessible, if you can get into them. After this incident, they sealed the mines.
Okay.
Okay? And they did that...
because they thought it was in there.
Yes, but there could still be... They never really said which specific mine shaft it came out of.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of different theories of like where it could have been in the area. Nobody knows like 100%.
Okay.
So something cool to think about. Also, it is down there. Is it dead?
How long do these things live? Because we're now at 122 years.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was just some cool stuff about it I found. Reading news. I love when I can find these newspaper articles, but I fucking hate reading them so much.
It's okay. You do a good job.
More fun stuff though. The town does a festival.
They do. There's Van Meter Fest every year.
Meter stuff.
That's in our list of 1 days to go explore.
Yeah, and there's also a book on this that I read most of, and it's literally called the Van Meter Visitors, and it's by this dude. I'll tell you, I have the name, Chad Lewis, and he goes to the festival every year and speaks.
Oh, awesome!
So
we're gonna have to get up there one of these days.
Yeah,
I mean, I was Bumblefuck, so that's gonna be when we have money, but
yeah. So it's he released the book in 2013. It's kind of reawakened like public interest into this. He drew some stretches of connections, if you ask me.
Okay.
But still a really good read.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
And you don't even like to read, so that's interesting that you like to read this.
I know.
That's how you know it's a good book.
I would much rather watch a video or a movie.
Yeah.
Because fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also organizes the entire event. And they do actual tours of the town. Well, they'll go ahead and like bring you by the bank and everywhere where there was.
Did they bring you by where they sealed the mines and stuff too?
No, because they don't know which. Well, they do bring you to the mines, but they don't know which
shaft it was in.
Shaft it was sighted in, because it was in 1903 and that wasn't really recorded. So there's a bunch of like speculation about like pass down stories about which one it is. Like Greg says it's this one. Well, Paul says it's this one. You know. So, but
Cool. When did they seal the mine?
1903.
So just the same year, just
yeah. After the event, they sealed it. They didn't seal it effectively though. Like,
so there's still some open shafts.
There could be is what the speculation is.
So what I'm hearing is we go for this festival, sneak off, and see if we can get in the mine.
Problem is, it's also probably flooded.
But, so we bring snorkels.
Yeah, that's terribly dangerous. Also, snorkels would not do it. We would need like scuba gear.
We don't go super deep.
We would totally die. But
I don't know about you, man, but I'm a pretty good swimmer.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm a really good swimmer. It's all sealed up.
All right. You want to tell us how we fight it?
I've always imagined fighting a pterodactyl. First of all, I would cut those wings. I'd get on its back.
What are you going to cut it with?
Stick. Imagine jamming a stick through a pterodactyl wing. Oh I've seen the dinosaurs do it. So I can totally do it. Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Imagine jumping on a pterodactyl's back, ripping its wings. Fucker can't fly away. Now I'm fighting an overgrown bat with a beak.
Still big ass.
And it also uses its wings to help it walk. This motherfucker's gonna be hopping at me like a kangaroo. And I bet it's not, like, it flies away because it's not good at fighting, I bet. So, I'll totally kick his ass.
But then he blinds you and eats you.
I just fucking close my eyes.
But you're still blind.
Yeah. I don't need it. I don't need to see. Who needs to see? Seeing's for fucking losers. This is a fucking audio fight. Yeah. I don't know. Wear a welding mask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get a welding mask? Remember, this is a random encounter.
I'll borrow one.
You're just going to be walking around with a welding mask?
Yeah.
You don't know you're going to fight this thing. That's the whole point.
I always have a welding mask.
I've never seen you with it. You don't even own a welding mask.
I don't even have sunglasses normally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd make a welding mask. The bottle.
You'd end up dead. Okay. But all right, Charlie, let's rate this thing.
All right.
How real do you think the Van Meter visitor is?
Okay, I like the fact that it appeared, did its thing, and then disappeared.
Yes.
There wasn't 5 million people saying they saw this thing all over as soon as it happened.
Right.
There was one other sighting a couple months later, which may have been fabricated, but I really can't say.
But the fabricated sighting doesn't discount the possible true sightings
of it. It's got, if it is a cryptid, it's got a very plausible explanation of, you know, a lot of people believe in like the prehistoric remnant theories. So it kind of fits into there. It fits into like the extraterrestrial point of view thing too, if you're into that. So if we're talking about cryptids, I'd give it a 4.
A 4 for realism.
4 for realism.
Okay. I agree with a lot of what you said. It's a single short story. It showed up for a couple weeks or a couple days in a week.
And there's a lot of people.
And a lot of people that saw the same thing, thought the same thing. It's got a pretty straightforward description the entire time.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it had wings, and oh, it had legs, and oh, it had 4 legs. This one had 7 legs. This one had feathers. This one was green. Bat thing with a beak and shot light out of his face.
And what I like too is all random encounter sightings.
Yes.
Like people that thought it was robbers.
Yeah. It was then like, oh shit, it's not.
Like, oh fuck, that's not a robber.
Right.
Shoots the window out of their fucking bank or their store because they thought it was a fucking monster.
Right.
Takes a lot to get somebody to shoot the window out of their store in the early 1900s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So,
that's expensive shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I'm going to give it a 4. Now, how cool do you think this thing is?
Dude, dinosaurs are cool, man.
Dinosaurs are so fucking cool.
Dinosaurs are fucking cool. I like how this kind of fits into like that dinosaur idea too. Yeah. Like how it has a beak. I feel like dinosaurs should have beaks. I also like that we're taking feathers away from dinosaurs again. It's cool, yeah. Dinosaurs should have feathers. Nah, dude. I'm a Jurassic Park fan. I like my dinosaurs like featherless.
Scaly and lizardy.
Scaly lizardy.
Shrink wrapped.
Yeah, that's the type of dinosaurs I'm all about. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's an aggressive cryptid.
Yes and no.
I killed a horse.
It killed a horse. It didn't attack anybody.
It was fucking with people and then didn't understand guns.
Yeah.
And guns scared the shit out of it. And fucked off into an abandoned mine.
Yeah.
So it was...
It's very animalistic is what it is.
Animalistic. Seems like very normal reactions.
Yeah. Which kind of plays to the realism of it too.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty fucking cool, honestly. It would have been cooler if it committed mass murder. Just kidding. No. But still cool. Still cool. I'm going to give it another 4 because it could have been cooler.
I agree with everything except that it could have been cooler.
You think it's as cool as it gets?
The beam could have been cooler. Like it could have been like
that's
a
what I'm
laser
saying.
instead of just like a flashlight.
Shit.
Yeah,
Like this fucking
that
thing's
could have been. Other than that, it's pretty
going-
fucking cool. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
This is a cool cryptid.
Yeah.
Now, how unique do you think this thing is?
Okay. Normally, when we hear cryptid stories about, like, you know, they're based off, like, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They normally replicate the dinosaur.
Yes.
This one said, nah, you guys got it wrong.
Yeah, yeah. This is dinosaur-like, but it ain't a dinosaur.
Fish at the bottom of the ocean with the light bulb? It's got one of those for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fucking unique, too. Like, it's not like... It's finally a bird cryptid that's not just a thunderbird. You know, it's like, it's got a very specific description of it that was met on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And it's also unique in the fact that it disappeared after it did its thing.
Right.
A lot of cryptids that we see, it's once they get popular and big,
They show back up a million
show
times.
up all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Like people started saying they saw Mothman in Chernobyl. Wild. This guy though, like his story was just fucking his story.
Yeah.
And nobody stole it. It just kind of existed as it was. So yeah, it's pretty fucking unique. I don't know. The only thing I could put close to it would be Thunderbirds, honestly.
Yeah.
And they're not even that similar.
Right.
Or like, you know, one of the like prehistoric existences. But even so, like the prehistoric cryptids that people claim to see normally are recreations.
Right.
And this one was really fucking like, no, it's a like pterodactyl, but it's not what you think.
Right.
So, dude, it's gonna be a monster score, but I think 4 again. Like
4?
Yeah, like.
So, as someone who's been building our schedule for, we're now 20-something years out.
Yeah.
I don't really know much that's like this one.
No.
This is a very different one.
No spotlight birds.
There's no spotlight bats, for sure.
It's super weird for a cryptid to have, like, light powers like that, too.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, you know, uses light as a weapon.
Yeah. I think this is a 5 out of 5 on the unique scale. We have not covered anything similar, and I don't think we're going to cover anything similar.
Yeah.
There's plenty of flying cryptids, but they're all bird-like. There's plenty of dinosaur cryptids, but they're all sea creatures.
Yeah.
Like, it's different, man. This one's out there.
It is, yeah. It's 100% out there.
I'm giving this a 5.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I don't think this is getting beat for the entire year, let alone this month.
Yeah.
I think this is our top dog. Matt Duck is ready.
Mad Duck summoned. Alright, ready?
Ready.
4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.5 plus 4 plus 5. 25.5.
Out of 30. I'm telling you.
Is that our biggest one?
That is our biggest one.
Is it?
Yes.
25.5?
25.5. That is definitely our biggest one.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be our top for the year.
Yeah.
It might even be our top for years.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know, dude. It's just a really fucking cool story.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely a good one.
I love when these stories are like one-offs, too. We got 5 million fucking Bigfoot sightings, Mothman sightings, Lizardman sightings that stretch way beyond like their zones. And this one was just kind of like, it was here and then it wasn't.
And it was maybe a town over, and it was not.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been since, except for maybe that 2020 sighting that was probably a different cryptid.
Completely different thing, I think. So I'd be interested in doing some exploring over there, though.
100%. I would go check out those mines and look at.
I would check out the mines, and I would also check out the cave that they saw in the town over.
Yes, by the Salt Lake.
Yeah, and see what's going on. The Mormons haven't taken it over.
Mormons aren't in Iowa.
They're everywhere.
All right, folks. As we say at the end of every episode, subscribe if you wanna. It helps us out a lot. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok.
Send us hate mail.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. Check us out on Designs by Humans for our merch. Join us in our Discord. We post our monthly schedule. We put up discount codes for our merchandise. We give you updates on what's going on.
Question the government.
Charlie questions the government. I share pictures of sexy Mothman.
Yeah.
We put up polls. You know first what's going on in the DNR world from our Discord than anywhere else.
And also for the Discord, shout out to Adela for suggesting this week's cryptid.
Yes, she did. She put that up in our Discord.
You can go ahead and put your request in the Discord, and we'll actually cover your cryptids. And we're pretty good at squeezing them in as fast as we possibly can.
Yes.
So
and that's
you won't
only
have
available
to
our Discord followers.
Yeah.
So go check out our Discord.
Yeah. So you won't have to like wait months.
Yeah.
But
go check out our coffee account if you want to send us some love. We really appreciate that. If you don't want to buy merch, but you still want to support the podcast, we appreciate it. If you like movies, follow my Letterboxd. I have a DNR list. It's all cryptid, ghost, real horror, alien stuff. If you like books, follow my Goodreads. I have a DNR bookshelf of all ghosts and cryptids and all that kind of stuff on that bookshelf. See you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Good night, Mudpuppies.
Bye.